You as the writer know everything. You are omniscient in the story. But you have to ask yourself, what do my characters know and not know? And does it make sense for them to know this? Would they have heard that through the grapevine or, something in their experiences? And you have to keep track of it. And you have to keep it consistent. And it's like the TCW writers were just like,
no, from episode 1, they chucked consistency out the window. How many Maul episodes are there? So Maul only gets 3 and the last stupid arc got 4, 5? What is with their priorities? So stupid. 5 episodes of watching Gascon and Whack just do the stupid.
Thank you.
Over
That's
and
a
over.
perfect way to put it. They just do the stupid.
Yeah, they do
over
the stupid.
And over and over.
Yeah. And then Maul gets 3 episodes. 3! Garbage!
One vision can have many interpretations.
Talk about severe frostbite there. Wait, why are the Mandalorians scavenging? You think they'd be better off than the typical scavenger types. Let's see if it's explained. It won't be explained, but let's just give them the benefit of the doubt.
If they're an enemy of the Jedi, then they're a friend of mine.
Usually when the regular nobody sees a lightsaber, they go, oh, Jedi! Because the Sith are barely known. They haven't been around for a long time. It makes no sense for him to come to that conclusion.
No sense. Maybe that because they're floating around in space, it's kind of like, well, if these were Jedi, obviously the Council wouldn't have just left them adrift.
But they would!
A, they would, and B, it's like, well, maybe their ship got destroyed before they could send out a distress signal. Or maybe any number of 100 explanations for why there's a lightsaber here. You didn't even turn it on, so it's not like you saw it was red and like...
But like, even if it was red, at most he'd be like, oh, I've never seen a red one before.
Exactly. Cool. I hate their setups so much.
They always suck. Ooh, nice shot.
I love the establishing shots.
They're always so good.
Gorgeous. Mm-hmm. Gorgeous establishing shots. If this entire series was just establishing shots, I'd be bored, but I would be like enthralled.
I'd be good for like one episode, and then I'd never come back to it.
School. You want to know how I got these scars?
Oh.
You're not Jedi, so what are you?
He's like,
he's a kitty cat.
I thought there could only be 2 Sith. A master and an apprentice.
Yeah, he'd know there are Sith because he's met Dooku before, but how would he know about the whole master and apprentice thing?
And if he knows about Dooku, and he only knows about Dooku, then it's like, well, I guess this must be Dooku's apprentice? So then there's 2 right there.
Well, then where's the third one coming from?
I don't know.
It makes no sense for him to know this stuff. Another example of weird, unexplained omniscience from a character in this show.
It's one of those things, when playing D&D, that's something that you have to kind of keep tabs on, because you as a player will know things that your character won't know. And so you have to kind of keep track of, okay, what does my character know? What do I know? So that you can play properly. And it's actually kind of a good exercise for when it comes to writing, because yeah, you as the writer know everything. You are omniscient in the story, but you have to ask yourself, what do my characters know and not know? And does it make sense for them to know this? Would they have heard that through the grapevine or, you know, something in their experiences that, you know, I haven't gotten into in the story, but like they do know this, right? And you have to keep track of it. And you have to keep it consistent. And it's like the TCW writers were just like,
No, from
there!
From episode 1, they chucked consistency out the window.
What happened to your ship?
Destroyed by Jedi.
Do you know which Jedi?
Kenobi.
Maul is just being so open. It's like he's on the therapy couch. He gets asked a question, he answers it honestly, to the point, just bam, here is my soul on a silver platter. Know everything about me. Doesn't even try to figure out who this guy is, just answers questions.
I was gonna say though, every time I hear Maul say Kenobi now, I just think of the Kenobi!
I just think of divine easy.
What do you seek now, Sith?
Fortune and power.
One of the biggest complaints with Maul's character in this show is that I guess it can kind of be described as OP, because in The Phantom Menace, he was just supposed to be an assassin. He wasn't supposed to be a tactician.
Oh, okay.
Or anything of the sort. But this show kind of turned him into a tactician, and I like it, but I can kind of see where people are coming from. But yeah, like you can't really use The Phantom Menace as this is all his character is and no more, because we barely saw him.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know all of what his character is? All the areas he's skilled in?
In time for tea. It's good for your health.
Yes, mommy.
You know, he seems way too trusting. There is a spider on your lap.
Sith are no better than Jedi. They claim to be powerful, but we put these two back together after the Jedi gutted them.
Doubt will only lead to failure.
Hold!
Our combined strength will be rewarded. Mandalore will be yours, and Kenobi, this Sith pretender Dooku.
How long now has he been strangling her and we've been zooming in on her face and just watching her like choke to death in the background? Kids show.
I was just thinking about Maul's...
It's been at least 15 seconds.
Maul's line there.
Feels like a very long time.
Doubt will only lead to failure.
Ahsoka casts doubt all the time, just like Bo-Katan did there. She always succeeds!
Oh yeah, because she's a Mary Sue!
I think it was kind of like, yeah, we pushed him into it. Kind of like when Aladdin casts doubt on the genie so that they get out of the Cave of Wonders for free. I guess that's what was going there. But still, I feel like Bo-Katan shouldn't recover quite so quickly because she was literally getting choked for like 15 seconds. And even if you were kind of doing it on purpose at the start, I don't think it was like she was probably thinking this guy is actually going to kill me. I guess I pushed it a little bit too far. Oh crap, I really don't want to die. And then immediately afterwards just like, we got him. Like, no recovery at all. None. They don't consider the psychology at all. And like, again, you could be like, well, it's the kids stuff. We just watched someone get strangled for 15 seconds straight. You cannot tell me that this crap is a kid's show.
Rest, apprentice. You're safe.
It's just...
Rest. You're safe.
Oh, it's so funny.
I'm just gonna completely ignore that. Just take a chill pill, bro.
Yep.
They are strong, and unlike pirates, they possess honor.
You run them all for 5 minutes!
And Hondo, he's got honor, man.
Yeah, he does.
He's got his own unique code of honor.
There you go.
But he's got it. Don't give me that.
Yeah.
Hondo is a good bad guy. He's
Yeah,
a good
bad
guy.
So tall.
I am Maul. This is Savage.
I am Maul.
I guess he had to put that extra bit of oomph in his name to make up for the lack of size.
Now I'm just thinking of Full Metal Alchemist.
Our brothers are in favor of an alliance to liberate Mandalore.
World made free. Free from what? Freedom.
This Duchess of yours will soon discover the true burden of peace.
I love how he's like, she's going to discover the true burden of peace when their whole intent is to bring not peace to Mandalore. So it's not really the burden of peace, it's just the burden of making enemies through being a sucky pacifist.
So I don't know if it's the sucky pacifist part that they have a problem with.
No,
So-
it's not that part.
No. It's one of those situations where it has nothing to do with her, it has everything to do with them. Keep that in mind. Sometimes the problem is not you, it's them.
Kid show!
The decision to join us is now yours. After careful consideration.
Very careful consideration.
I have a plan to undermine Satine.
When Anakin puts his shoulder on Ahsoka to like reassure her, and she's just like, you don't touch me. Pretty much the exact same thing here. Again, except Maul is properly being framed in a negative light. He's literally a bad guy. And so kids don't see that and go like, yeah, that's behavior I wanna like model my life after. But when they see Ahsoka do it, it's like, oh, she's so great, she's so wonderful, I can do that to my friends and it'll just be great.
I feel sorry for those kids' friends.
You know, I guess technically it would be their parents. So, you know, if my parent puts their hand on my shoulder reassuringly, it's like, whoa, I can do this, get off me.
There is only one plan, one vision.
He's saying, no, there's only one vision. And the thing at the start was like, no, there are many interpretations of one vision, so maybe...
But it's not...
I don't remember what happens. Maybe, like, his plan doesn't go as planned, so then you have to interpret his vision differently?
That don't make no sense.
Nothing makes sense in this show.
The depth of this opportunity eludes you. You shall watch and learn.
We come to join you.
What is that? It sounds like they're laughing,
Yeah.
and that's not a good response given the situation.
To look even more epically cooler, Maul doesn't even stop it himself. Savage just kind of like hides his hand behind Maul's head and stops it. And then he just like drops it so Maul can catch it and throw it back. It's like, these two, you can tell they're brothers. They're just like totally on the same wavelength and just like, how can we look stupendously awesome?
So Savage and Maul both turn to look in the same direction, leaving themselves wide open, and then they continue to face that direction while using their lightsabers to defend. But Savage was wide open from the back. They could have been shot 12 times over in that time. Can you please make these things make sense? If your characters are surrounded, you have to make sure they have all sides covered, or else they should be shot immediately.
Maul have had their lightsabers out like 50% of the time throughout this whole fight, and they've mostly been like deflecting and maybe hitting one or two people. And then he pulls out his lightsaber and kill, kill, kill. He should not be looking cooler using his lightsaber than, you know, the trained Sith assassins. Have him showboat using his Mandalorian stuff. Or, you know, have him on par with what we've seen from Maul and them. Like, you know, at least make it equal. This is pathetic.
He could have used the Force to throw the dog off ages ago. Yeah, whenever they want to nerf Force users, the writers just take away the Force. Yeet! That's out the window.
Come on, let's get out of here.
all the way back in season 2, they were kind of the good guys. They were going above and beyond to like help these people. I mean, like, I guess they're still technically being portrayed the same because like now they're working for criminals instead of innocent farmers. So yeah, ditch those criminals when it gets too bad. Oh, it just feels like the last time you showed them us, it was like, yay, great, good job, guys. And now it's kind of like, boo, down with you. It makes sense because, you know, yeah, they're just bounty hunters. They have no allegiance. But like, they made it very, very clear in the last episode that like there was more to it for them than just the money. Obviously there's this story here that, you know, they have some kind of honor. So why are they now just working for the Hutts and then just being like, peace them out? We're dealing with criminals versus criminals. It's not like, oh, these innocent people getting beaten up. No, but you're still watching people get beaten up.
And murdered most brutally.
Yes. Like, it's
bad. It's completely
when
inappropriate
it's
for a kid
just,
show.
we've got the subtitles on, so you see it even more now, but you literally have, like, in brackets, screaming, squealing, crying. There's a lot of stuff in here that's not appropriate for kids, because it's just straight up brutal. There's no like, again, you have this like bad guys versus bad guys, and so it's like you want to root for somebody, and making kids root for the guy who's brutally murdering and just like wiping out, taking control of all the other bad guys. Like, I don't even know how to express this right now. Because, yeah, Maul is the main character. Maul's the, like, cool-looking, cool-sounding, lightsaber-wielding guy, right? Like, he's the character that the kids are gonna choose the side of. When the reality is that they should be sitting there in horror at what he is doing. Because he's doing horrible things. But that's, like, too much to put on a kid. So the kid's just gonna be like, ooh, Maul's so cool. And yeah, that you don't want them walking away with that. So either way, this is not good content for kids. Because I feel like I would enjoy it more if it wasn't constantly in the back of my head, this is targeted at young children. Like, because I enjoy this kind of stuff. Like, I love watching these kinds of, where you're actually kind of sitting there going like, oh yeah, this is a bad guy, I should not be rooting for him, right? Like, but like, it's epic, and you've got these like different ranges of baddom. I don't even know how to express myself right now. But like, you get what I mean, right? Like, as adults, we enjoy watching this kind of stuff. It's thrilling, it's exciting, it's, you know, but we're able to walk away without it influencing our moral compass. Whereas kids, that critical thinking, that distancing, like, it's not as developed yet. And yeah, so it's like, I can't enjoy this as much because my brain is just like thinking to myself, some 7-year-olds are watching this, 10-year-olds are watching this. You can't tell me that they're not walking away from this going, Maul, so cool. Yeah, after watching him brutally murder.
Maul and his brother will be dead alongside the Duchess.
For real. Bo-Katan wanted her sister dead from the beginning, but she guilt trips Obi-Wan in season 7 about how Satine is dead.
Yeah, because like, it's not just in that moment. I was kind of watching it because Ahsoka actually brings up Satine several times, and every single time Satine is mentioned, Bo-Katan is kind of, you know, she looks down, looks away, she, like, you can see the hurt and uncertainty. So it's kind of like, after Satine died, did it kind of hit her? But like, before that, everyone's, yeah, Satine's gonna be dead, Satine's gonna be dead, we're gonna kill Satine! And she's just like, oh yeah, this is great! And then suddenly she's like, oh wait, death means death! Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. It would have been better if it was more like a Harry Potter kind of thing, where like she was under the impression they were just going to depose Satine, you know, throw her in prison or just exile her or whatever, right? But like, she'd still be alive. Like, if Bo-Katan was under that impression, and then yeah, Maul just suddenly straight up kills her to get back at Kenobi, and that, like, right? Like, that would have been better. But yeah, everyone's like, she's gonna die. And Bo-Katan's just like, yep, this is the plan. That's what's gonna happen. We all good. And then it happens and she's like, oh no. That doesn't actually mean die, does it?
No, of course not. Do not pull the laundry off the racks.
He's going to pull the laundry off.
Do not pull the laundry off the racks.
Don't even think about it.